Are you ready?
I am about as ready as I'm gonna
Are
be.
you ready?
I'm ready. We got this. You totally got
She's
this.
more ready.
She's ready to go. Yeah. All right. Well, here we go. Okay.
Okay.
Well, Dale Cisneros, candidate for District 2 Supervisor, thank you so much for joining us in studio today.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, let's just start by introducing yourself to our viewers, to Kern County. Who are you? You know, where do you live, and what's your background, Dale?
Okay, good morning. My name is Dale Cisneros, and I live in Tehachapi with my beautiful wife Lori, who's here in the studio this morning, and we have 2 grown adult children. And I am a realtor and a farmer, businessman, and entrepreneur. And as I operate right now as a realtor, and I'm enjoying that. And one thing I forgot to mention is that I am not a politician. I have gotten into this race because I felt called, and I am a grassroots American patriot, and I believe in the Constitution, and I have experience in business management, and it includes 20 years plus management experience at the upper level, management, middle management, and in construction, finance. And so I believe I'm uniquely qualified for this term to serve.
And I know when you and I spoke last time, you had mentioned you've always wanted to run for public office, specifically this 2nd district, or District 2 Supervisor seat. And so I want to ask, you know, what made you feel like this was the right time, especially after the vacancy occurred in, you know, a pretty complicated manner?
Right, which was a tragedy, and at the same time, I care about the people in Kern County, and I want to make a difference. And my wife and I have been thinking about this, praying about this for about 8 months, and we understood that the prior supervisor was considering running for, I think, assembly at the time, and we talked about the opportunity. If that happened, then I would start making inroads into that running for the campaign. And I think that, sorry, I need a break. So during that period of time, we came into the new year, started moving toward that, found out that things happened, and then we began to just, like everyone else in Kern County, just get a little more concerned about what's happening. Why is it that it's, you know, quiet at this time? That we haven't had any answers. And so we attended the meetings and began asking for the former supervisor's resignation. And in talking with the people in my community and other communities, we're frustrated. We were frustrated because we had no answers, and for the longest time we were not only being ignored, and then finally abandoned by the former supervisor. And it just, there was really no outreach or help. And this is from communications that I've had with different areas of District 2. They've felt left behind, left out for a long time. So one of the things I want to do is hold regular meetings with each community and talk with them and find out what they're concerned about and what ideas they have. And then be that bridge with the other supervisors and look for solutions.
I mean, the district, as you know, is so vast. It's geographically the largest district here in Kern County.
Yes,
so,
it is.
you know, to meet with people in Maricopa and Taft and those in, gosh, like Mojave, for example, you know, how do you meet with them regularly? How do you organize those community meetings and travel up and down, east and west of the district?
That's a good question. It's new, so my thoughts are, making online town hall meetings available, being able to, or making time to go to each community once a month, once a quarter, whatever it needs to be, because this is a full-time job. So I'm gonna make time to do that.
And obviously, this is an interview about your candidacy, but because you did mention some strong feelings about the resignation of the former supervisor, I wanna ask you, Dale. Again, you mentioned those strong feelings. There's this emptiness that the district feels at this point in time. You said people feel abandoned.
Yes.
So what is your pitch to the voters of that district that you are in fact the right person to kind of mend that hole, fill it up?
Okay, yes, again, good question. Well, I have no axis to grind with anyone. I'm a regular person, just as concerned as everyone else. And I feel like it's time for me to step up. It's a right opportunity. And because of my business experience, because as an entrepreneur, as a business owner in the past, I've had, and most entrepreneurs know this, you have to figure out new ways to navigate all the things coming at you as a business owner, especially in California, and figure out solutions to continue to not only make the bottom line, but also, especially in this type of a service, how are we going to best serve the community? How are we going to best meet those needs and make them feel heard? That's the biggest part. When people feel heard, they feel valued.
And so how does all of this translate to concrete action for you when it comes to issues? Dale, what are your top priorities for the district?
Top priorities will be the oil and gas industry. It's a mainstay in Kern County for a long time. And as you and I know, most products are made with petroleum products. And so number one, it can't go away immediately. Even though we have green energies and the like, renewable energy is coming, they're still in the transitional and the developmental phases. And so with, and again, with regulations coming down from Sacramento, we're really going to have to figure out how to maybe negotiate, stand our ground if need be. Because there are things that are unreasonable for businesses that are taking place right now. And one of the thought processes, and it's just, we're just beginning to think this through, is that Kern County operates as a general law county.
Right.
And we're noticing that there are other counties that are switching to charter law, or charter counties. That could be a solution. Other things that are taking place in Kern County is homelessness. That's a huge battle. And not only do we have regular people, everyday people on the streets that we've been working with over the years, now we're seeing an influx because of the open border, because of the drugs that are being trafficked over the border. We're seeing an influx, and so we're seeing a lot of, I'm going to call them attacks on humanity, where people that are already struggling are now being hit with more and more personal trials in the way of trying to deal with where they are in life and what and having no hope. So I want to work together with the agencies that are in existence and the local church, nonprofits, and the like, and start evaluating how can we best work together, even improve the services and find better solutions.
expand on those local services a bit more for me, Dale? Because obviously the open border, it's talked about at the
Mhm.
federal level as well.
Oh,
And
yeah.
here in Kern County, especially as a county supervisor, you know, there's only so much you might be able to do when it comes to tackling the border directly, when it comes to tackling the drug
Right.
trafficking. So again, just expand on those local potential answers for us a bit more.
Definitely, and you're right. It is a federal level, at a federal level, and what we can do at a local level to best mitigate those things is to work with the agencies that are already operating, like mental health, like resources like the homeless centers. And with that, pairing and partnering with churches, nonprofits that are reaching out in their own way and finding out how we can best work together. And it could be figuring out how we can better fund those other nonprofits, those other churches that aren't working with the individuals. So it's a big discussion, but I'm willing to have that because it is necessary for us to come with new ideas right now.
And as for oil and gas, you mentioned that it's not going anywhere, and that when it comes to Sacramento and state regulations, you're willing to negotiate, you're also willing to kind of stand your ground. When it comes to that transition to clean, renewable energy that the state is really pushing for to go, where do you stand on that? The way it is now, do you feel like it's a just transition?
And I've heard that language a lot, read a lot of articles on with this transition. It's difficult to say because carbon capture is being proposed as the newest and latest and greatest. As of yet, there's no real answers as to what the returns could be. The proposed returns are up to 3/4 of what they were earning in revenues for petroleum products, you know, natural gas and crude. But it's inconclusive. So it's going to be a struggle, but it's a conversation worth having. We definitely need to sit and discuss what is real and valuable and worth, and trying to figure out where do we stand and what do we need to negotiate with the state, where do we need to push back.
And you also mentioned a potential transition from being a general law county, which we are now, to becoming a charter county. So does that mean that you're for more local kind of government? I guess local governing, I should say, and less, I guess, not overstepping, but just more authority to our local government with local charters, local rules? Is that what you are implying that you would?
Yes, now, yeah, as a supervisor operate as a lesser magistrate, and we have certain abilities and certain limitations. I do believe that local control as a charter would better serve the people as opposed to general, because we're looking for opportunities to meet the needs of our people. Our people are important to us. Each county, their people are important to them, but the only way that we can grow and become a tighter community is to look to helping our people in that way.
And I know at the recent Mojave Candidate Forum, you also mentioned that economic development and water are top issues for you. Can you expand more on those points and your visions for the district?
As far as economic development, that's a big subject. Water, so I grew up in a water family. My father was the district for the Kern County Water Agency for many years. And so I really had a little more insight than most watching some of the projects being developed over the years. Again, with the state's regulations, controls on farmers, on the availability of water for farmers. This is an uphill battle. It's, again, worth having that conversation because farmers here need the water. We are one of the largest producers in the world, and it's important to continue that. And if there's discussions we can have in reducing regulations, working with the state, trying to figure out how to mitigate water usage in a better way, I think that's a conversation worth having.
And on economic development, quickly going back to it, it's an expansive topic, like you said, but
yeah.
specifically, I'm just curious, when you say we need economic development, what does that mean the district is lacking right now? Is it room to grow? Is it jobs? I mean, are certain industries struggling?
Well, specifically with the shutdown in oil and gas fields, in more and more ways, we're seeing Chevron leave. We're losing jobs that are ancillary companies for support services for the oil fields. And I am big time in favor of small business. I think that we can discover ways to help reduce barriers to entry for small business. Because that is what really makes economies thrive. That is what is the essence of our country and every local economy.
And to kind of sum up all these issues and then the district as well, again, just being such a large area,
Yeah.
right? A large mass of land here in
Yes.
Kern County. What are really the problem areas you see, areas that you truly feel have been neglected for so long, and areas that you think, oh my gosh, day one, I really need to jump on this and help improve these, or in towns or cities in District 2?
I've had discussions with leadership in Taft in the past week. I've had some beginning discussions with the communities in the east side, and I want to continue to expand those discussions. What I'm hearing is that the county areas are far worse off in maintenance and trying to think of a terminology. Well, those areas are owned a lot, what I'm being told, by out-of-towners, and they're not being maintained. So, code compliance, things like that. That's what I'm hearing, that these are the areas that are being neglected, and they're becoming hotspots for crime, drugs, and squatters. So those are areas that need to be addressed for helping the communities in these areas be safe, feel safe, and so that they can attract new home buyers, new owners, and feel more comfortable opening businesses.
So from you, that'd be more county oversight in a way, or I guess county management of those areas.
Definitely county management.
Yeah, not oversight, county management.
Yes, definitely county management, because that would inspire community leaders in each area to know that they're cared for, to recognize that there is help, that there are resources that we're looking into, and it's not just me sitting in a chair. Like, we've had a history of supervisors sitting in a chair, rubber stamping, or just making decisions, going with the flow, instead of standing up for these areas, especially District 2, and saying, hold on a minute, time out, we need help for these areas. It's not just about Bakersfield City. It's important. We're all part of, Kern County. But there are needs. There are specific needs for these outliers. these outlying, communities.
Going off that point you made about the board of supervisors.
Yes.
You know, if all goes well for you in your campaign, you will be joining that very board of
Yes.
supervisors. I'm not gonna ask you what your thoughts on your potential future colleagues are, and
Okay.
you know how active you feel they are in the scene, but how will you, as a new supervisor, fit into that board? Again, if you feel like there's been a history of inactive supervisors,
Yes.
how will you fit in? How will you collaborate with the other
Mm.
board members currently?
I am definitely a team player. Having my business experience, I've learned to deal with a lot of different personalities. And I really believe that I can get to the heart of a matter and help others understand what it is that I'm trying to do for the people in District 2. And also, in turn, let them know that I'm here to help. I'm also here to be a part of the team in your district. So collaboration is a big key. It's very important. Communication on difficult discussions. Willingness to sit down and say, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong and show me how I can work past maybe my misgivings, my misunderstandings. And then likewise, I want to be able to have that inroad into each one, but it's trust. It's earning trust and then moving down that road of knowing that we can each show care and concern not only for each other, but work and collaborate for our constituents, for our voters. They're the most important ones. That's why I'm a grassroots candidate. You know, I am about the people.
And Dale, you and I both know, it's a bit of inside baseball, but you and I both know the board of supervisors, it's a nonpartisan office.
Yes.
But technically, there is partisanship involved.
Yes.
The current board makeup right now is 3 Republicans and then the lone Democrat, Supervisor Leticia Perez. Supervisor Scrivener was also a Republican. He was considered the most conservative supervisor on the board. District 2 is also considered one of the most conservative districts in the county. And so I wanna ask how you fit into that whole picture. You know, what type of supervisor do you think you will be when it comes to kind of political leanings and also
Okay.
what you make of the makeup of the board?
Well, as a conservative, yes, I have my personal beliefs, but these are my guiding principles. As a believer in Jesus, I know that there are 2 greatest commandments that Jesus told us to follow. So love God, which means that there's a higher power outside of us that we need to live in such a way that not just pleases him, honors him, you know, because I believe he's a good father, he's a good creator. But then we take that because there's some real human, I want to say human honoring, but it's a culture of honor that I bring by loving others, which is the 2nd commandment. And when I show love to others in the way that I understand that God is love, I need to show that to others, because if I care about myself, I've got to care about them too, just as I care about myself. That right there is a guiding principle that completely, in my opinion, removes biases that are humanistic or about humanism. Because when it comes one-on-one, we're all people that care about specific things. We need food, shelter, clothing, but we also need to know that we're cared for and valued. That right there is a huge principle that I believe that will bring healing, will bring renewal, will bring cohesiveness, teamwork. This is what we need. And so I think that those will be goals that we can achieve together, just by doing that.
Dale, that's it for me, but is there anything else I missed when it comes to your campaign?
Well, again, I am not a politician. Again, there's been too many that have sat in that chair, from my perspective, as an individual, as a voter, that has done nothing significant in making inroads to improve our county fiscally, responsibly in bringing people together, but also moving forward in getting things done. I know I can do that as a business person, and I know I can do that as an individual, doing my part as a team member. So that's what I'm gonna say.
And you have an upcoming rally, what's that all about?
Yes,
Like a rally for
are you talking about tomorrow?
Is it tomorrow?
There's one tomorrow that is in Tehachapi, but I have one on the 14th.
It's the email, or it's the one that's gonna be in front of the old Radio Shack building, that's what Darren Amos sent
Yes.
out? Is
Yes.
that the one tomorrow?
No, that is on the 14th,
14th, okay.
next Saturday,
Okay.
from 11 to 4. So we're going to be waving flags, we're gonna show our American spirit, we're gonna hold signs, and we're gonna show the people that we're there supporting the people.
Okay, so it'll be like a very patriotic rally, but
Yes.
also focused on your run for supervisor.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then Dale, I'm asking every candidate this, how old are you?
I'm 55 years old.
55, okay.
So I've lived, all my life in Kern County.
Okay, were you born and raised in Tehachapi?
No, I was born and raised in Bakersfield,
Oh.
and we
okay,
moved
okay.
to Tehachapi 7 years ago.
With Lori?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you guys meet?
Oh, yes.
We met at Bakersfield College.
Oh my goodness, college sweethearts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow, okay. Well, that's it for me. Dale, thank you so much again for joining us here, and good luck on your campaign.
Great, thank you so much for having me.
Okay, this is